I know that as a content creator, I often get looked at and people come to me and say, you should talk about this, you should talk about that. And I genuinely miss some things. And maybe during all of the fanfare regarding this, I was a little bit preoccupied with something else. But when people were discussing their children being touched in bathrooms, of course, that was a concern for a lot of people to deal with, and a concern that a lot of people should have pressed on.
Daughter, right here. Sweetheart, tell these, do you want a little boy to watch you?
No.
No. Why?
Because it's inappropriate.
It's inappropriate. My 8-year-old daughter knows it's inappropriate, and yet y'all sit there silent. One of you told me that your personal views don't align with the views you show to the public. That is not how you do it. That should show every parent in this county that you are not fit to sit on this board. Every one of you. Tell me you didn't say that this is not your job, that it should be left up to the ethics committee. I've heard you say it's not my job when it came to the books being in these schools. It is your job to look over who's in charge of catching those books. All you do is smile. Rob, I don't have a problem with you, but this has got to stop, because I'm going to tell you, y'all come up here and talk about vaping and the dangers of vaping. If a little boy follows my daughter in that bathroom and touches her, you will have a new radar of dangers. This is ridiculous. You're opening up opportunity for problems to happen. You either create a new bathroom for those who are confused, or you send them to the staff bathroom. It's a very simple problem. We don't change policy for tens of thousands of people to accommodate. There is no problem what people do on their personal level. That is not my business, nor your business, nor anybody's business. That is their choice. But I tell you what, I want to prove that you're all hypocrites, because each of you ladies, I want you to invite your husbands. Let's go to the bathroom, and I want them to watch me watch you use the bathroom, and let's see if they get mad.
Well, having said that, I found this article and I just want to read this to you all. It's from 2021, but the circumstances in it just make me feel a little bit queasy deep inside. The mother of the 15-year-old boy at the center of the London County School. First of all, calling it a spree is drastic, because why was a 15-year-old going on a rampage like that? Has come out and slammed the young victim of the assault, claiming she was willing and that her son isn't to blame for the rape. Now, I'm not a parent, and I could understand wanting to defend your child. We just talked about it in the last video in regards to your children doing something dumb, and because you're a mother, you got to stick up for them. There's no way under the sun, if I was to bust a nut in a woman and then 9 months later that nut come out and it just develops into this human being, and then the human being go out and unconsensually touch a bunch of people, there's no way under the sun I could possibly defend that. Like, none. Like zero. There's a 0% chance that I could do that. Yes, you are my flesh and blood, but I've cut off family for less. I could definitely cut off family for something like this. The London County School Board came to international attention in October when a father revealed that his 9th grade daughter had been sexually assaulted in the girls' restroom at her school by a male student wearing a skirt. The assault took place at Stonebridge High School in May and was followed by a series of controversies, including the father being violently arrested when trying to confront school board members about the assault at a public meeting. The boy would be promptly transferred to another school where he would later be arrested for sexually assaulting yet another. Again, not gonna sit here and defend somebody like this. And it ain't even possible for anybody to rationalize defending their own flesh and blood like this. I get it. It's your child, but the Mom of the Year award is not going to you. In October, the teen was found guilty of rape in the first case after being charged with 2 counts of forcible sodomy, 1 count of anal sodomy, and 1 count of forcible fellatio. He is awaiting trial on the second assault. I hope by now, because this was 4 years ago, this dude's in jail. Today, the mother of the boy came forward to speak to the Daily Mail about the incidents, but rather than showing any empathy for the victims, she slammed them while defending her son. He's a 15-year-old boy that wanted to have sex in a bathroom. You are the worst mother ever. On every metric of the imagination, you could list off the worst mothers and the worst defenses possible, and this bitch is sitting right at the top. Because how is that the first thing you say? How? Like, how could you actually craft your thought process after waiting maybe days, weeks, months to speak to people in the public, and that's the first sentence? That's the first sentence you bring out. Not, I'm sorry this happened. I'm embarrassed as a mother. I thought I raised my son better than this. I'm not even a parent. How do I already have better PR stunts to say than this? How? It's impossible. How is it that you are just being like, hey, my kid was basically horny, so what's up? She stated that seemingly neglecting the fact that her son had been convicted of rape, and they're twisting this just to make it a political hot button issue. Now, class, I, again, am not a parent, nor am I a politician, but I understand that because of social media and everybody thinking their opinion deserves to be at center stage, everyone wants to turn something into a hot button political issue. But when we're talking about human beings, children, teenagers, forcibly putting their meat inside of other people unconsensually, that's not a political issue. That is a crime that deserves to be addressed. She went on to blame the victim in the first case of her own sexual assault, saying, if I was in a position where I was about to be raped, I would be screaming, kicking, and everything. You're 15. You can reasonably defend yourself. You're not just going to sit there and take it. Okay. I think I have all I need to scream into the ether that you are a dog shit human being, not just a mother. You're a failure of a mother. You're a failure as a person. You're a failure of a human being. You were a waste of sex that your parents engaged in to create you. And I feel like God, even though he really doesn't make too many mistakes, I feel like this is one of his key mistakes. You are a sick individual. You deserve nothing but the pits of hell. Your son deserves nothing but the pits of hell. And that's not me being political. That's me having a standard in society as to where you cannot unconsensually grab, touch, or insert anything inside of another person. And when you do, you deserve to be jailed. And no amount of your family bonding or your family trauma is going to make me say, oh, well, maybe, just maybe, this is a matter of circumstance, and that is something that just shouldn't have happened. Or where I'm going to sit here and say, yes, you strong, bulky 15-year-old victim, you wanted it because you didn't fight back and you didn't kick and scream. That is a traumatic experience that not just 15-year-olds have to deal with. There are women of all different ages that have to deal with that, who have a mountain of different reactions in terms of the circumstances upon being violated. And no, I'm not going to sit there and think, oh, hey, you wanted it, you 15-year-old. Yeah, that's exactly what you... Because on what planet does anyone think this would be a rational statement to put out into the fucking ether? The woman admitted that her son has run into trouble prior to either of the sexual assaults he committed this year, including sending nude photos of himself to a girl in the 5th grade. This is your son. This is what you wanted to defend. This is what you stuck up for. So you admit that, yeah, you know, you're a 15-year-old. But you bring up that your son also sent nudes to a 5th grader who's probably like, I'm taking a strong guess, between the ages of like 9 and 11. Like, ma'am, your son is sick. The boy's mother said that he had sodomized the girl in the first incident by accident, going on to claim that he said he was intending for vaginal. This can't be real. I gotta be falling for some type of bait. This gotta be some type of troll, and I am the one who's being trolled right now. The boy allegedly identifies as pansexual and enjoys gender bending using his clothes, but allegedly does not identify as transgender, according to his mother. A recent photo revealed that of him shows him wearing a skirt as well as leather chokers that says kitten. In the photo, he's standing in front of a number of pride flags, including one for pansexuals, asexuals, and LGBTQ people. Who cares? I do not value that this freak is standing in front of any of this. I care that he violated 2 people and sent nudes to a 5th grader. But he's weird. He deserved to be locked up under the jail. And you know, just because you're the parent of a sick fuck, I'm going to assume you raised him terribly. And you deserve to meet Satan and Lucifer. And all of you can have a nice little orgy together so that you can understand, yeah, your son is a motherfucking weirdo.